Hello, Hannah Chelsea, the baby maven here, and I am so excited to welcome you to today's expert interview. You're going to get so much out of our discussion today, and I know that you're going to love our guest expert. I've had the privilege of getting to know her in person because she lives close to me, and I think that she's pretty freaking amazing. Christine Stevens is a certified sleep consultant who works with infants and children to help them get the sleep that they need. In my opinion, there's nothing better than a well-rested little one. It's a happier baby or toddler, which makes for a much happier mama and household. It's a total win-win. So on that note, I'm going to pass it over to Christine so she can tell us a little bit more about herself.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Hannah, for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. I'm Christine Stevens, the founder of Sleepy Tots Consulting. I'm a sleep coach. And I'm really happy to be here today. Thanks for having me.
Oh, please, Christine. It's like my absolute pleasure. I always love our discussions, and I am thrilled to be able to share you and your expertise with all of our viewers today.
Awesome.
So I thought maybe we'd start out just kind of like with the basics of why is it so important for children to get sleep?
Well, first and foremost, sleep is so critical for their growth and development. Recent research that's been released says that the growth hormone that's needed for muscle and tissue development is released when children are sleeping. And so it is just absolutely critical for their growth, development, and overall well-being that they're getting the sleep that they need.
That does make so much sense. So how much sleep do babies and toddlers actually need?
Well, on average, actually about 14 hours a day. And a lot of parents don't really realize how much sleep that their children need.
Yeah, that is true. 14 hours, it's more than half the day.
Yeah.
That's only 10 hours of awake time, which seems so much more manageable when you think about it. Why do you think it is that they don't get as much sleep as they need?
I think it's that most parents really don't realize how much sleep that their children really do need. We have kind of crazy schedules, and parents really just kind of assume that babies are sleeping as much as they need to. Unfortunately, when they don't get the sleep that they need, it's going to lead to sleep challenges as they go through the infant year, the toddler years, even on into the preteen and teenage years as well.
Yeah, it's crazy, like the lasting effects that sleep or lack of sleep can have over the years. So I'd love to know, why did you start Sleepy Tots, and what exactly is a sleep consultant?
Well, I started Sleepy Tots after the sleep challenges with my own daughter. My daughter Sydney was about 8 months old and was a really horrible sleeper, and I wasn't getting any sleep. She wasn't really getting any sleep, and it was just a struggle for our entire family. And so I decided that I needed some help, and I found what was called the Sleep Sense program that was created by a woman named Dana Obelman. And I have since, it worked so well for our family that I made it my passion to help families and their children get the sleep that they need. I've since gone on to become a certified sleep consultant, and now I help families all over the country and get the sleep they need. It's really cool.
That's wonderful. I love that you came from a place of your own personal experience and kind of are like, hey, learn from how things went for me so that you don't have to deal with the challenges of having like a bad sleeper. And would you mind sharing a little update with us of like how good of a sleeper Sydney is now?
She is a wonderful sleeper. I put her to bed at about 7:30 at night after we go through our routine. And as we turn off the light and she waves at her little humidifier that looks like a penguin, she says, "Night, night." I turn off the light and I put her in her crib, and she'll usually wave at me and I'll say, "Night, night, sweetie. I'll see you in the morning." And she'll grab her blanket and her little Mickey Mouse doll, and she goes off to sleep on her own. Typically gets up between 6:30 and 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's absolutely incredible. I love it. Especially, I mean, you said that you started out when Sydney was 8 months old, and she was like, categorized as a bad sleeper back then. And I guess it would be worth knowing, how old is Sydney now?
Sydney's 18, almost 19 months old now.
There we go. Because I was going to say, people I'm sure are going to want to know, like, okay, so you're still dealing with just a tiny little person.
Yeah.
And now she's an incredible sleeper. I love that.
Yeah.
Could you share with us how do you assist families with their sleep challenges? And is it different for every family, or is there kind of just like a cookie cutter way of dealing with this?
No, definitely not a cookie cutter way. Every family is different. Every baby, every child is different. And so I work with families to determine the best way to help their children sleep better. You're going to hear probably a little bit about crying and things like that. No certified sleep consultant is going to tell you that you're going to have to leave your child to cry for hours on end. No, we work together to determine what's the best solution for your family. And every family is different. What works for one family won't work for another family. So the methods that I used with my own daughter and with other families may not be the same for another family. So that's why we customize the plan for each child.
That's really nice that it's so tailor-made to each individual family, because it is true. Every kid is different. Every parent and how they want to parent is different. So I love that you kind of customize it and really make it such a good fit, so that like you're working as a team. It's not like you're coming in saying like, it's my way or the highway, like this is how it's going to happen.
Absolutely not. Being able to be the family's personal coach and really get to know the family and get to know their children and how things work, so that we find the best solution for that family.
That's wonderful. So do you work your magic on naps as well, or is it mostly overnight sleep?
It really depends on the needs of the family and the needs of the children. But we cover everything. Some children need more help with naps. Others need more help with overnight sleep. And so my plans cover everything. But we will figure out what those sleep challenges are, and we'll work together to solve them for good.
That's wonderful. So could you maybe run us through a couple of the solutions to sleep challenges? Like, I know you mentioned a lot of people hear, things about infant and toddler sleep, and they're like, oh, it's going to be a lot of crying. It's going to be extremely stressful. But like, what are a couple of solutions to sleep challenges that you as a sleep consultant, a certified sleep consultant, would like to share?
That is an awesome question. It really starts with a good foundation. And that's two things: routine and schedule. Having that consistency is really the foundation of what I teach my parents. And like I said, you're going to probably hear a lot of people discuss about crying and what's going to happen. Well, with the different solutions, the backbone really is routine and schedule. Kids really thrive on knowing what's coming next. And when a child knows that it's time to sleep, because we can't explain to them through words, obviously, it's more through action. So when they know that sleep is coming, they're much easier to settle down. They're much easier to get to sleep.
That does make sense. I mean, I can even tell, like, as an adult, I like things like that. I like knowing when something's coming up and what's expected of me and stuff like that. So I could see how that'd be so beneficial with a baby or a toddler who maybe doesn't have that language ability yet to be like, oh, here, let me describe this to you, to be able to see it through your actions and through just kind of that repetitive consistency.
Right. As adults, we have our own journey to sleep. Most of us don't just walk into our rooms, immediately hit the pillow, and fall asleep within 5 seconds. Most of us will we have some sort of routine, whether it's washing our face, brushing our teeth. Some of us read before we go to bed at night, but we all have a little bit of a routine before we go to sleep. And it's the same thing for children. They're not ingrained, and they're not born with the ability to know exactly what they're supposed to do to go to sleep. And so we have to teach them those healthy skills to be able to develop their own journey into sleep.
That's incredible. I love that. And it seems like it's something that's like like, why didn't I think of that sooner? You know, like it seems so logical, but also something that's so you could implement, especially with a little bit of help, so quickly. Could you share with us how long does it generally take to get a baby or a toddler sleeping through the night if they're like, as of right now, considered like a bad sleeper?
Well, like I said, every child is different. And so, there's no hard and fast rule that they're like, here's when they're going to start sleeping through the night. But absolutely, by the time a baby is 3 to 4 months old, they can absolutely sleep at a 5 to 6 hour stretch at night. By the time that they're 6 months, they can absolutely get to a 9 or 10 hour stretch at night. So if your baby, your child is not sleeping very well and is waking you up multiple times a night, and you're having to get out of bed to attend to them for whatever they need, and you're tired. I've been there. I know exactly what it feels like to go into my boss and say, I'm exhausted. This baby won't sleep, but I'm not sure. I don't want to screw something up at work. So, absolutely. Look at your baby's sleep. If you're getting up multiple times a night, then baby's not sleeping through the night, and it's probably time to look for some help. Yeah.
And it's so nice to know that the help is available and that it can be like gentle, customized help. Because who would want to deal with getting up like a billion times a night? Like that's not good for you. It's not good for your baby. It's not good for your work or your life in general or your relationships. Like sleep is just like this magic thing. And when you get enough of it, it's like beautiful.
Well, think about when you've had a bad night of sleep. When you've been up multiple times a night and you're just trying to get through the day, whether you're home all day long or you're working all hours of the day. Think about how you feel when you haven't gotten a good night of sleep. Think about how it feels for your child when everything new is in the world and they're just trying to take it all in. And imagine how you function when you're tired. It's kind of the same thing for babies as well.
Yeah. That is true. Like you can just spiral when you're lacking sleep as an adult. It's like one thing, it's that domino effect. And you can definitely see that with babies too, and they've had a rough night's sleep or a really messed up nap. Like maybe the feeding doesn't go as well. And then the next nap is a little bit screwy and things like that. I know that we've touched on this a little bit, but it's kind of like so key to our discussion. So I'm going to have you talk about it again. What are some suggestions that you have for getting baby to sleep through the night?
Awesome question. Definitely, like I said, make sure that you have a foundation of routine and schedule. So the first question I would ask parents is, what's your bedtime routine look like for your children? Do they have a routine? It should last between 20 to 30 minutes, no longer, because otherwise you're just kind of dragging it out for them. But definitely have a consistent routine every single night. So you can start off with a bath, which is great. Or if you don't give them a bath every night, just a warm, wet washcloth to wash face and hands, feet, bottom, just to give them the sensation of warm water. And then you kind of put their PJs on. And if they need a feeding before they go to bed, a little bit of cuddle time, even for a very small infant, just lay them in front of you and just talk about your day. And as they get older, integrate books, because that's so important to be reading to children, even at an early age, even when you don't think that they're really taking it all in. Even a 2-minute little board book is great interaction with your child before they go to bed. And then you allow them allowing them to go to sleep on their own. Another really great tip, again, so parents, do you find that it's really hard to get kids down for naps? Probably. It's so tough for kids to want to go take a nap, because who wants to take a break during the day? There's so many cool things going on in the world and so many people to meet and so many things to see. Who would want to take a break? Well, do you have a pre-nap routine? It should be very similar to your bedtime routine. Again, through consistency, through routine, that children know that it's time to go to sleep and at regular times. So have a little routine that lasts about 10 to 15 minutes that's somewhat similar to your bedtime routine. Obviously, we're not going to give them a bath every time we put them down for a nap, but change their diaper, make sure that they've got a full tummy, and have a little bit of talk time or a book or something, just some wind down time. and then putting them to bed. So make sure you've definitely got a pre-nap routine, and then look at your own bedtime routine, and make sure that baby has enough time to wind down before you put them to bed at night.
That makes a lot of sense, because I mean, I know I appreciate being able to have some like wind down time before I go to sleep at night. And you talked so much about the routine and the importance of that. And something that I really like about this is that it's not like you're trying to change your baby or make them do anything. It really is all in like the parents' power of, if they're the ones who are consistent, if they're the ones who are following through with this routine, it's naturally going to lead to a better sleeper for their, like, with their baby. So like parents out there, you're the ones who have the control. Like the more consistent you are with this, the faster I'm assuming your kid is going to snap into this and be like, oh, that's a sleep trigger for me. Or like, oh, all right, we're winding down, so this is what's happening. Yeah, so Christine, could you tell us, like, are there any typical bad habits sleep-wise that a lot of brand new parents fall into?
Well, there could be a few, but like I said, every family's a little bit different. Some kids, when they become reliant on external props. And what are external props? External props are anything that need to be done to baby to help them fall asleep. It could be nursing to sleep, could be a bottle, could be a pacifier, could be rocking, it could be bouncing up and down on a yoga ball. There's lots of different things. And baby, that's when babies learn, if that's the way to fall asleep, then that's the way they will always fall asleep. So for instance, if baby's nursing to sleep, then when they wake up in the middle of the night, which all of us do, for adults, if we wake up in the middle of the night, we'll open one eye and look at the clock and think, oh good, I get to sleep a few more hours, or pull the covers back on us, or fluff our pillow and just kind of turn over and go back to sleep. Well, babies, they do this, have the same sort of sleep cycles as we do. So they come into a much lighter sleep and will wake up in the middle of the night. But when they're reliant on external props to fall back asleep, i.e. something like a pacifier to fall back asleep, they're going to kind of wait and say, Mom, Dad, can somebody give me my pacifier back? So that's what happens. When babies are reliant on those external props, they're waiting for those things that have to be done to them to be able to fall back asleep. When your child's allowed to fall asleep on their own and develop their own strategies, when they wake up in the middle of the night, they may look around and say, okay, everything's all right. And if they don't need you, they'll put themselves back to sleep. It's really a great thing. I know my daughter wakes up multiple times a night, but until she lets me know that she needs me, I know that she's safe, and I know that she's secure, and that she'll be able to put herself back to sleep. She'll call me if she needs me.
That's awesome. Because I mean, babies do, I know, just naturally in their sleep cycles, or toddlers, like sometimes they will make noise, or you'll hear them moving around or something. And it's nice to know that like you can just kind of let them do their thing, and that they will let you know when they actually do need you. As long as these like kind of, sleep props and like crutches and stuff like that aren't a part of your routine. Because that's the thing, is like you might not realize it, but when you add those things in, those become part of your routine. So like that's what your baby starts to expect. Don't let that be your routine. That's no fun for anybody.
No.
Yeah. So could you tell us, Christine, is there like an ideal time to start with a sleep consultant and like working on sleep habits and routine? Like, is it too early when a baby's first born, or is there a time when it's too late?
It is never too early or too late to work on sleep and sleep habits and those healthy sleep skills. You can start as early as baby comes home from the hospital, starting with a small routine, something like a shortened bedtime routine. Again, it kind of helps them to differentiate their nights versus their days. But you can absolutely start teaching the healthy sleep skills very, very at an early age. There's no ideal age to really start. It's more of when the family decides that they need to make a change, and that, hey, things may not be working quite the way that they expected. And hey, we'd like a little bit of help. So really, any age. I work with babies from newborns on up to help them sleep better.
That's really nice to know, because I feel like maybe a common misconception about working with like a certified sleep consultant is that you contact them when you already have an issue, when you've been like, I haven't slept in 6 months or something. But I want all of the viewers to know that like they can reach out and start working with you early on to even just kind of set the groundwork and the foundation to maybe even avoid any of those like typical, sleep issues and pitfalls and stuff like that. Because if you start really early on and you just get kind of like you were saying, start with that really simple routine or things like that, just making sure that you're really assessing your baby's sleep cues and doing exactly what they need, you might be able to avoid those I don't know, those like major stressors that you hear, like those parenting horror stories of my kid's 5 and he still doesn't sleep through the night. That you can really start anytime. And it's also nice to know that it's never too late. It's never like, oh, well, your kid's too far gone, like too bad for you.
Absolutely not. Like I said, sleep is just so important for growth and development for kids of all ages. So starting early is obviously ideal, but when you realize that you need to make a change, hey, reach out, ask the question, what can I do to help my child sleep better? Because there's different solutions for every child.
And you know what, that actually leads me into another question. Sometimes you hear parents say, like, my kid just isn't a sleeper, or like this, he's a bad sleeper, like whatever, that's just who he is. Can all children learn to be great sleepers?
Definitely. All children can become great sleepers. They can be those brag-worthy moments that you talk about. Yes, my child is a really good sleeper. They just need to have the foundation, and they just need to learn their own healthy skills to fall asleep by themselves.
That's wonderful. And I know that bringing somebody on like you can just totally expedite that process. Because like you said, every kid is different, every family is different. And having an expert come in and say like, hey, well, have you tried this? Or from what I can see, like this might make a huge difference. It takes all that trial and error, or so much of it, and that guesswork just out of your life. So you're not like, well, I tried this and it kind of worked, and then the next day I did something else. So viewers, I would highly suggest that you reach out and talk to Christine, get in touch with her, because she's absolutely incredible. And it's like something you will never, ever regret. Like getting adequate sleep and knowing that you're doing that for your baby or your toddler as well is just such an incredible feeling. And when you're more well rested, you can better parent. Like it's just like Christine was saying, sleep for everybody is like the essence of life. It's so vital. So Christine, I want to make sure that all of our viewers get the quick rundown on your business and how to get in touch. So we're going to start with, could you share the name of your business one more time?
Yes, absolutely. Sleepy Tots Consulting.
Perfect. What would you say that you are all about?
I am all about helping families sleep better. And sleep is just one of those components of happy life, growth and development of everyone. And when everyone is in the household is sleeping better, as a mother, you enjoy your children more. You and your spouse, can get along a little bit better. There's just so many things that when everybody's sleeping, just the whole dynamic in the household changes, and everybody's just a little bit happier now that everybody is sleeping well. So it's like I said, it's my passion to give parents their nights back. And when you can lay your child down at 7 or 7:30 at night and know that they're sleeping well, and you have time to do something for yourself. Maybe you just want to read a book. Maybe you want to have a small bowl of ice cream. Maybe you want to spend a little time with your spouse. It's so wonderful to be able to put your child to sleep. And if my husband and I want to go out for dinner, I know she's going to be asleep when I get back. So again, it's really just empowering as a parent, and to know that, you know, your child is sleeping well.
I love that, Christine. I love it that your passion is helping people get back to like the sleep that they need. Because that truly is, it's like, it's such a unique gift to be able to share with people. And it makes such an incredible difference in like all aspects of life. So,
I just had a mom call me this morning. I'm working with a set of twins right now. They're so cute. They're just adorable little boys. And last night, she laid them down and they went to sleep on their own. She couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe that it actually could happen. And we're working together right now to get them on a similar schedule so that she's got a little bit of time for herself and to be able to spend with her husband as well. But it was so great to hear that mom tell me this morning, I can't believe it. They went to sleep on their own and they slept until 5 o'clock this morning. And this is just within 2 nights of working with them. So it's just wonderful to hear success stories from parents like this.
oh, I know that feedback is like, it just like makes me light up when you hear that. That it's only been 2 nights. And I believe you had told me previously that these are like little guys, like they're infant twins, right?
They're 5 months. They're just little guys.
Oh, that's so yummy. I mean, I'm not at all surprised how quickly things changed, especially now that they brought you on. Because that's one thing that I think is really important for our viewers to know is like, it doesn't necessarily have to be an extremely long process. I'm sure it's different for every single family, but like you could see results that quickly, like in 2 nights. That's insane.
Definitely, yes. Results can come quickly. Some take a few more nights than that, but with love and support, yeah, absolutely. Children will be putting themselves to sleep and sleeping much better at night, and then consequently, so do the parents.
Which is wonderful. You get the whole household sleeping. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Christine, could you share with us how our viewers can find you? Website, Facebook group, however you most like to get connected.
Absolutely. They can head over to, I have a Facebook page. Just search Sleepy Tots Consulting and you'll find it. Look for the cute little pink baby. That's my trademark. And then if parents want to get in touch with me, they can go over to my website, www.sleepytots.consulting. So they can go over and they can check out my packages. They can see how it works. Based on the child's age, I have different packages that I use to help children sleep better. And they can sign up for a free consultation. It takes about 15 to 30 minutes. But you can absolutely see my schedule. You can pick the best day and time that works for you, and so that everyone can talk about how we can work together and how I can help your child sleep better. So head over to my website, www.sleepytots.consulting, and click on the link to sign up for a free consultation so we can talk about how we can work together.
Okay, so Christine, is that how you would suggest that our viewers get started, is by signing up for that free consultation?
Absolutely. It's the best way to do it, so that it notifies me. And so I make sure that I have my full attention to give to you, and same thing for the parents. So you can schedule it around nap times. You can schedule it. I even have evening hours after children have gone to bed so that you can talk to me then. I actually have Saturday morning hours as well so that I can talk to parents. So it's just, what's the best time so that parents can give me their full attention and I have their full attention as well.
That's great. And it's so nice that you offer that free consultation to start, just so you can get some of those questions answered. You can learn about the family and things like that. That's such an awesome way to be able to kind of start the process, just being able to actually have a conversation. And you're super fun to talk to. So I feel like people should definitely just jump on board with that and get to know you, because my goodness, can you make a difference in their lives? Christine, I also know, oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. No, you can, I work with families all over the country. So even if you don't live near me, I do consultations on Skype as well. If you don't want to, if you prefer not to, either talk on the phone or whatever, but yeah, it's great that I can actually see people in person as well.
Yeah, that's true. I'm so glad that you mentioned that not only can you take local clients, but that also people all over the world, all over the country, wherever, can have access to you and your expertise with like phone and Skype and things like that, which is really nice. I love that. I love that you're so accessible. I think that's really an incredible thing. And Christine, I know that you had said you talked briefly about your Facebook group, and I think that you have something in store just for the viewers of this video.
Definitely, yes. For the viewers of this video, I just posted some new content this morning. So head over to my Facebook page, just search for Sleepy Tots Consulting, look for the cute little pink baby, and you'll see some really great content. I put it up all the time, but I put some special stuff up this morning. And go over, like it, like the page. Give me a quick comment. Tell me what you think. And if I'll pick one random answer out of the comments, and you can win $25 off one of my consulting packages.
That's so exciting. I'm so glad that you're throwing something out there for all of our viewers, because I would love it for them to be able to work with you and having like a little bonus of maybe being the person who wins the $25 off. It's just like, you know, the cherry on top. So viewers, I want to remind you that all of Christine's information, like her Facebook group and her website, all of that is listed in the email that you received with this video. So you just, you know, click away, sign up for one of those free consultations, go to her Facebook page, like it, pop a comment on the newest content that she has on there, and then maybe you'll be the lucky winner of the $25 off. And Christine, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. It's always such a pleasure to talk to you. Like, I have so much fun, whether it's like on Skype or Google Hangouts or the phone or like our occasional coffee dates. It's just, I feel like I learn so much from you every time that we talk, and you just make it so easy and accessible. So thank you. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview today.
Well, thanks for having me. I really hope to meet some of your viewers and find out how I can help. But yeah, we'll plan a coffee date soon.
I know, it'll be so fun. So viewers, thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to watch this interview. I'm sure that you got a ridiculous amount of good content out of it, because Christine is absolutely fabulous. Make sure you connect with her. And until next time, I'm sending you happy, sleepy parenting wishes.